Hi and welcome to the best anime series of 2024 part 1 video. As usual, it's me, your boy, Jim Aku Brimstone. 2024, is it a good year for anime? Not so much, but the first season had 20 great shows that I want to recommend to you. Mr. Villain's Day Off, Kyujitsu no Vayumono-san. This one is one of my favorites this year. I just love its wholesome vibe. It's about this dude, you know, like an alien. He's the general of the aliens and they're supposed to conquer our planet, and he's just, you know, fighting against the protectors of the Earth. But on his day off, he's basically sightseeing. He loves pandas, he loves food, he's cooking stuff. It's so wholesome and fun at the same time. Here you can see him in his evil form, and on the left side there's this human who's protecting the earth. And the red dude is actually very bad at walking. He gets lost quite easily, so the evil dude on his day off basically helps him to get where he needs to go. It's so funny because they are enemies on the weekdays, but on the weekends everyone is doing their stuff, you know, they don't care basically. And here is the panda. I just love pandas, this is so cool. Such a fun show, you know. Love the animations, the story, which is not that important here, but we have some cool episodes about the trees. I'm not going to say anything more. You have to watch this show. It's beautiful. A Sign of Affection, Yubisaki Toyenen. And this one took me by surprise because usually animes about romance, they're kinda childish and, you know, they have that ecchi vibes to them, but this one is actually quite serious. So we have this girl in the middle, that's Yuki. She's disabled, she can't hear, so, you know, she only does the sign language stuff, and the white-haired dude is basically popular and etc. But he decides to learn the language and they basically become a couple, and that's the show about them. But as usual, the girl has a childhood friend, the dude on the left, you know, and he's like, I don't like this white-haired dude. But at least this show doesn't become a love triangle, like, it's quite nice in that way. The characters are normal, the animation is very good, there's a little bit of introspective vibe here, thinking about your life, your future, decisions, what it is to be in a relationship, stuff like that. And yeah, some funny stuff as well, but not so much. It's just a good show to watch, you know, when you don't have a lot of stuff going on. You know, just to chill out and relax. Next show we've got Nozumanu Fushi no Boukensha, the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. The dude is undead, he wants to become human, and this girl is going to help him, and he has some adventures. Yeah, typical anime shit, but it reminds you of the simpler times, you know, when the first Sword Art Online season dropped. It's fun, it's very calm and chill. The main character is not a creep, he has some identity, he's a nice dude. Yeah, that's all basically. No, this is nothing fancy, but this year there aren't any animes that I'm like, wow, this is amazing. No, nothing like that. Just good 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 shows, and this is one of them. Does this dude eat some Pringles? I want some Pringles. Do you want Pringles? Write down in the comments. I want some Pringles, man. Sasaki to Pichan, Sasaki and Pips. Now this one surprised me as well because of how weird the story is. So we've got this dude, Sasaki, he's a businessman, he works at this corporation, but he's burned out and he's like, "Wah!" And then he meets a bird, and the bird is basically like a legend from some another world, you know, he was like the hero, he knew all of the magic and stuff, and Sasaki can teleport like between the worlds, and now he basically has to help the people in the other universe, but in the human one he has to work for this new organization that knows there's magic in the world, and he doesn't tell them that he has more skills than he said he had. I don't exactly remember what he tells them, that he can manipulate air or just ice, I don't remember, but he can do much more. Still, this show is very interesting, like especially the secondary characters, the world building. Where is this all going? Like, what is the goal of this show? What is going to happen next? I hope that this one is going to get at least 2 more seasons to fill the gaps in the story, because I want to know more. As usual, the animation is fine, same with the music, just like in the previous shows, you know, I have nothing to complain about here. The pacing is quite nice. Some of the episodes that are happening in the fantasy setting are much more interesting to me than in the real world, but that's just my bias, because I hate reality and our world, so yeah. But yeah, the bird is very nice. What else can I tell you here? I don't want to spoil more stuff. Just go and watch it if this sounds interesting to you. Blue Exorcist Season 3. Now this one was actually quite a disappointment for me, because I loved the first season. The first season was so fun. The last few episodes were not canon from what I remember, you know, they didn't happen because they are not based on the manga. So they basically are retconning that stuff with season 2, 3 and the upcoming 4th one. But I must say that the revival of this show did not go as I hoped it would. Season 2 was basically like a filler stuff. I didn't care for it that much. It was nice seeing the characters again after such a long time, but it did not feel the same, and this season only proves that it's even worse. I don't know. I didn't care that much about the story. Sure, some plot points were established, and I hope that the next season is going to be more interesting. Finally, the show is going to end, like with season 4 or 5, because this is taking too long. And if you've never heard about Blue Exorcist, then this show is basically about a son of Satan who was raised basically by a priest, but sadly the priest was killed. But before that happened, he said to the son that you must remain good, blah blah blah. And you know, the son of Satan has friends, and he's in this school, and he basically becomes the exorcist. He fights against demons and the evil creatures. And he has a brother, you know, the one on the left here, and we never know if the other brother is good or bad. What is happening with him? That's the whole mystery, and maybe in 10 or 20 years we are going to find out what all of that means, because the manga is moving so slow, everything is moving so slow. Just pick up the pace, please, because it's killing me. So yeah, that's the entire show. It's a shonen stuff, you know, lots of fighting, silly dialogues, funny stuff, betrayals. I'm not sure if I should recommend this season or not, because I guess if you're a massive fan of the previous 2 seasons, then sure, go for it. But to a person who has never heard about this stuff, just watch the first season and don't touch the next ones until like 5 or 10 years, when we are going to get more of them, because maybe by then the plot will resolve. Next show is Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and this one became quite popular, as you can see, rank number 1, even higher than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Wow! Madhouse did this one. So as usual, the animation is great, the music also, the atmosphere. This one is a chill out session, like I loved watching this show just to calm myself down after a long day of hard work. And yeah, I understand why this became popular, because it's quite nice. It's basically journey of this elf mage Frieren. She basically already lived for like 1,000 years or more, and she saved the world from evil in the past. That's not a spoiler, you find out about this stuff in like the first 5 minutes of the show. She basically starts to miss her dead friends because, you know, they became old. Not all of them died, but yeah, that's the point, and she has a new journey. I want to see that stuff resolved as fast as possible, so yeah, give us season 2 and season 3. I hope this show will end at the season 3, because we don't want it to overstay its welcome. The characters are quite nice, Frieren is fun, this girl, I forgot her name, she's basically her apprentice. The red-haired dude is fun as well. The dwarf, hell yeah. Is this... The priest is crying, it's so funny. Only 28 episodes, I wish there were more. I don't want to spoil this show for you, so just go and watch it. The best show this year for sure. I don't know, maybe something better is going to come out at the end of 2024, but as of now, this is the anime that you should watch. A tank with a rare 1999, like Limp Bizkit, it's 1999. Resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party. This show, well, it wasn't that great, but it was also quite interesting. It's about this dude in a hero's party, Rad, you know. He gets kicked out from the hero's party because they think he's worthless, but he was actually the strongest out of all of them. And now you're going to see his adventures. Basically, his sister is sick and he wants to cure her. Besides that, we have some very interesting topics here that I did not expect from this show, like, at all. For example, prejudice against other creatures, domestic abuse, stuff like that. Probably one of the weaker shows I'm recommending today, but I still did enjoy it, you know. It wasn't like a chore to get through it. It was okay. Kinda the ending was weird, like there's this new plot point like in the 10th or the 11th episode and you're like, what is that supposed to mean? And they just resolve it so fast in the final episode and I'm like, what was the point of that? But besides that, this is quite a nice show. You know, the animation, nice. The music, I don't even remember it, so probably some pop garbage, but yeah, the story was okay. You can survive through it. You can. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Desanku Gyaru wa Nama Menkei. Hokkaido girls are super adorable. I don't even want to read the titles of these shows, but this one actually was one of my favorites as well. Basically, we've got this boy, Tsubasa, who moves to Hokkaido, which is like some outskirts of Japan or some shit, you know. It reminds me of my village as well, you know, small town basically. And he meets 3 girls there. At first he meets the blonde one, then the purple or violet one. Am I colorblind? And the pink one, but the pink one comes up at the end of the show, so let's not talk about that. As you can see here, the tags say this is an ecchi show. It's actually not, it only has like maybe 5 to 10 scenes like that. What this show is basically a cool romantic story with a lot of wholesome moments. If you're not in high school anymore and you survived through it, it might remind you of that, because it does remind me of middle school for some reason, you know. I had some situations like that, so it's quite funny. I love it, the main characters are very fun, same with the dude, like everyone here is okay, like they act normally or funny, no one annoys me here, the animations are quite nice, some of the jokes are very funny, the others not so much, but yeah, look at this snowman, 10 out of 10. This is me after finding out that I am poor and that I can't afford an editor, so I'm going to edit all of the videos on this channel until the day I die. So yeah, that's Hokkaido girls, go check it out, I love this show, it was so fun. I hope that maybe we are going to get a second season. I wish I could see more adventures of these characters. High Card Season 2. I've talked about High Card in one of the previous anime videos, I don't remember if it was part 2 of part 1 of 2023, but it came back and I'm glad because it's great. I am not sure if it's going to get season 3 because I feel like they've ended stuff on a good note, but we are living in the age of sequels, so anything can happen. So High Card is about this organization who basically has those magical cards that give you powers, and they are trying to take cards from evil people and the other evil organization that you can see here on the bottom. So the good guys are at the top, and I don't know what else I can tell you about this stuff because I've already talked about it in details in one of the previous videos, so go check that out. I can tell you that season 2 at the beginning is not as good as season 1. Later it picks up and the episodes are actually quite great, especially the last 6 to 8 ones. Very emotional stuff is going on. Yeah, I was actually surprised at some of the plot twists here and there. So yeah, if you like action, comedy, mystery, then go, give it a shot, you might enjoy it. When you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control, you'll bleed out of control. Oh, I'm sorry, my nu metal brain started thinking about Deftones for a minute. So yeah, Classroom of the Elite 3rd season, this one I didn't enjoy as much as the previous seasons. Like, the first season was so much fun, so interesting, the plot was amazing, but then the second season came up and I was like, it was fine but disappointing, and I am actually sad that this season is even worse. Like, some of the episodes were interesting and they made you want to find out what is going to happen next, but in like middle part I was like but the end picked up, intrigue, the characters, the motivation, stuff like that. I am not sure where this entire show is going. Where is it going to resolve itself in season 4, maybe the 5th one? I hope it's going to happen soon because I feel like by this point Classroom of the Elite has overstayed its welcome, it's not that great. If you haven't heard about this show before, then go watch the first season and maybe wait a couple of years till the show is going to end, or the manga, because at this point I feel like we are in the middle part of the story. Why does this season even exist when almost nothing happened? Like, just one major stuff happened throughout the entire show here. Instead of doing 13 episodes, this stuff, the entire plot, could have been explained and shown in like 3 or 4. So yeah, I felt like it was a little bit stretched. And if you want to know more, then go watch my previous videos where I explain the story of this show. Basically, this is about a high school for the most wise and cool teenagers on the earth in Japan. And they're so cool, and the school is so prestige, and England is my city, you know? And we've got this main character, I always forget his name. Let's call him Johnny. Johnny Kramówka. Johnny Kramówka is like, I'm a genius, and we're going to get to the top with our classroom, because this show is about the classroom, the most weak classroom, the D classroom, I think was it called, and they want to become the A classroom, you know, the best class in the school that gets everything cool, and they are like respected and stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but that's how it is. And also they don't want to get expelled, because if you're going to stay at the bottom all the time, they will expel you or some stuff like that. That's the entire show. It's supposed to be high stakes, you know, adrenaline pumping, stuff like that, but in season 2 or 3 I don't feel that at all. I only felt that in season 1, you know, like the stakes were high and you wanted to find out more about these characters, their motivations. And in season 3 I feel like it's a slight regress of all of that stuff. But I still have hope that maybe in season 4 things are going to pick up, we're going to have fun. But by now, But I wanted to talk about this thing because I don't have any friends that watch anime, because I only have serious people as friends. I'm just joking. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this stuff. Let's move on to Cherry Magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. Let's talk about this silly yaoi boys love show, which is actually quite wholesome and serious at times. So we've got this dude, Adachi, and his friend Tsuge Masamoto. Adachi works at some corporation and his mentor or upper work buddy, I don't know how to say that stuff in English, is Kurosawa, and they have a crush on each other. And basically this show is like when you turn 30 and you didn't have a sex partner, you weren't in love, then if you touch someone, then you can hear their thoughts. And that's how Adachi finds out that Kurosawa is into him. This is not a spoiler, this is happening in the first episode. They're going to try and be together, and Masato is going to do the same thing with someone else. That's the entire show. The story, interesting, very realistic in some parts, you know, especially when they have troubles, you know, in communication and needs and wants, stuff like that. It felt very real. It reminded me of my past relationships. So yeah, they also work together and go on work trips, stuff like that. It was also quite interesting to watch. It was a fun show with no prejudice, and what I love about this show the most is the fact that actually it finished. Like, we are not going to get season 2. The story is finished, it's over, and I love that. That there is not going to be some sequels, stuff like that. I love when just the entire plot is happening and we don't need anything else. No, when the story is self-contained. Yeah, check it out if you don't mind this being a show about two dudes in love. Like, I don't care if it's dudes or dude and girl or girls. The story just has to be good and the characters must be interesting, flawed, but also have good and bad sides. Their motivations must be clear and explained, and what is happening, and all of that is well explained and interesting here. So go check it out, give it a shot. It's a very good anime. The wrong way to use healing magic: Chiyu mao no machigata tsukai kata senjowa kakeru kaifuku youji, however you pronounce that shit. This is another show that I was surprised at how good it was. So it's basically about this dude Usato and two other people that are like summoned to this fantasy world from our world to become heroes. But actually Usato was like summoned by mistake. That's supposed to be here. He doesn't have any superpowers, but he still gets work. He becomes apprentice to Rose, and she leads this squad of basically medics who heal people on the battlefield or just take them from the battlefield to safety somewhere. The story is quite interesting. You become invested in the characters and their motivations, which doesn't happen to me that often because I usually don't care. But this show, it has something out of Full Metal Alchemist. Like, I feel like the characters are a little bit crazy but adorable and good people, like in that show. So it reminded me of that. Yeah, here's Rose kicking our main character's ass. It's so funny. Yeah, the bear is so cute. Hashtag cool bear. It's an adventure and you should go check it out. You won't be disappointed. If you love action, some slight comedy, and you know, basically the trope of from zero to hero, because you know, he's training to become the best healer, like he's not going to let anyone down, and I am not going to let anyone be killed, stuff like that. Saijaku Tamer wa gomi hiroi no tabi wa hajime mashita. So basically the weakest Tamer. Another surprise. This is a show about Ivy, who's a girl, and she escapes her village because she is basically blamed for an elder's death or something like that, you know. A good granny dies and the village blames Ivy and they want to burn her to death or just kill her, something like that. So she escapes, she meets a slime, she calls the slime Sora, and this show is about their adventures. And the first episode was actually not that great. I was actually thinking about dropping this show, but I never drop shows because of situations like this one. Because the first two episodes, but the next episodes picked up and they became quite interesting. The story at one point got very dark, which I did not expect at all, because this seems like it's supposed to be a kid show, you know, for children, but the themes that are here, it doesn't look like that. They say it's a comedy. I don't think so. There isn't much funny stuff here. It's more basically about trying to learn new skills to survive in a world that is harmful to you. But, you know, the animation, fine. The characters, quite nice, especially the adults who help Ivy. We also have some evil people here and there, so yeah, fuck them. Yeah, this show, quite nice. Go check it out if you like those types of shows, you know, where basically a child goes on a journey basically to escape from her past, which is not nice, and she meets good people along the way. Delusional monthly magazine, Gekan Moso Kagaku. This show, I'm not going to lie to you, the first episode I was like, Meh. The second and the third one was like, maybe there's something here. And this show was so uneven, like some of the episodes very funny, very interesting, the main story quite intriguing, but the resolution, well, the resolution could have been better, like the last two episodes. But overall, I'm rating this as a positive show, you know. It's basically about this magazine who only cover, you know, stories, you know, something that Steven Carpenter of Deftones would believe in, you know, like the earth is not flat and not round, it's basically a giant turtle, and the turtle, we are on the back of the turtle and we are flowing through the galaxy. I'm just joking, I hope there wasn't something like that in this show, but yeah, they basically cover supernatural stuff, you know, ghosts, Lizard Man, how Yoko Ono has music career, because have you heard her voice? You heard that shit, right? How is that even sold? Why do people buy it? I will never understand. John Lennon, how could you do this to us, to humanity? So yeah, we have Goyo, the main character, who basically comes to this magazine because he basically brings them some sort of alien tablet, you know, and they're like, suddenly something magical happens, and now they're on a quest to find out what does that mean. And yeah, it means something, but yeah, the main character is quite fun. Goyo, Gio, the dog, Sabuyo, the dog, very wise creature. Tayo is my favorite character because he's like me. He basically wants to marry a girl, but no woman wants him because he's poor and he doesn't have any money. So yeah, that's it. Quite nice show. I did not expect it to be actually good, but it was. So if you want something that is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, there's comedy, but the comedy is like half for children and half cringy. Like, that's the comedy here. It kinda reminded me of a retarded Scooby-Doo in some parts. So yeah, go give it a shot. Yuki Bakuhatsu Bang Bravern. Brave Bang Bravern! Bravern! This show is actually an anomaly to me because I hate shows about mecha, machines, robots, that stuff. I hate that shit, but this show grabbed me by my heart and I was captivated by it. It's about humanity fighting a new threat, these machine-like creatures that come out of the sky to destroy us, but then we have humans who are in mechs and they are trying to defend humanity. Basically, that's how we met Bravern. Bravern is, I think, one of the machines who fell off the sky, but he's on the side of humanity, and they're basically fighting against the mecha alien threat. And we have some very cool characters here. Like, I am not sure how they're called. This might be John, I am not sure. He's a very cool character, one of the main ones. We also have the young girl. I'm not going to spoil what's her name, because that happens later in the show. And the main character is this dude in the suit, you know, here at the top. He's actually one of the weaker points of the show because he doesn't have almost any character. He's like, nah. The rest of the cast is fantastic, you know, everyone is giving their best shot. The comedy here actually lands more times than it should, and I was actually surprised that there is a lot of depth here, very cool soundtrack, the story is going somewhere. I did enjoy the ending, so that's that. It's a very good show, go check it out. I like that the tags have America, America, fuck yeah, in the land of the brave. The second season of Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Now, I've talked about this show already in one of the previous anime videos, but I just love it. It's basically Harry Potter plus the gym rats, the gym boys and magic. It's fantastic, I love it. The main character is so fun. He's basically in this magic school, but he doesn't have any magic, and everyone is like, yeah, you don't have any magic, so you're worse than us, you're not even human, blah blah blah. But he's going to prove them wrong. He's going to prove them that muggles are great people. That's the show, that's the entire show. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it, just go and watch it. It's funny, the jokes almost always land. Yeah, it's shonen, so lots of fighting, and as I'm old now, that's not that interesting to me, but I love the characters, the story, the jokes, the music, the animation, all of that. I hope that this show is going to get at least 2 more seasons, and that it's going to be resolved soon, because I don't want it to have like 6,000 episodes or 1,000 like One Piece, because no one cares about this stuff. I don't have time. Do you have time to watch 1,000 episodes of One Piece? Do you even want to? Probably not. I sadly started One Piece like 10 or 13 years ago, so I am at that 1060 or whatever episode, and I'm like, yeah, I'm already in, so I will basically finish it. If it's going to finish, because I am not sure if I'm going to be alive in 2101 year to see the end of One Piece. Like, I am not sure if I will survive up to that point. But Mashle, fantastic show. Go give it a shot if you like magic stuff, Harry Potter, or gym. Do you like working out? Then this is a show for you. The Dangers in My Heart second season, Boku no Kokoyo no Yaboyatsu. I've talked about this one in the previous video, maybe part 2 or part 3 of 2023, I am not sure. And I've said there that this is actually a very nice romantic anime, and I stay by it, but this season had some annoying episodes. Like, this show is about this high school dude or middle school dude, Ichikawa, and the girl, Yamada. As you can see, she's beautiful. She's also famous because she's an actress or some model, stuff like that, and he's basically now one, but they develop romantic feelings for each other, but none of them have like courage to go to the finish line, you know, to express their true feelings, and it's basically going to take 2 seasons to get there. Sure, I guess this is a spoiler, but you already knew how this is going to end, right? Because, like, that's the goal. And I am happy that we don't need 3rd season, because the story has ended, but I am kinda mad that it took so many episodes, like 26 I think, to get there. Especially in this season, where the characters basically, they kinda know they like each other, but they don't say it to their faces, you know, like openly, and it kinda gets on my nerves, because I guess I am an impatient person. Like, I wouldn't spend so much time going after someone, and like, I see that she knows, you know, she's just waiting, and she also wants to say something, but she's like, I'm afraid he's going to say no. And yeah, I'm just too old for that shit. Like, Just say it, and if it's not going to work out, then move on. That's it. I am an old person, sorry, but yeah, the characters, very nice. The story, slightly annoying. It shouldn't take them that much time to the point where they want to be. The secondary characters, quite nice. All of the secondary characters know that the main characters love each other, and they're basically cheering them on and trying to help them. That's it basically. Go check out this show. It's fun, but be prepared for that stupid stuff that it takes them such a long time to express their feelings, because it's so annoying. Solo Leveling. Now this is a Korean show, I think. It's about this monster hunter, Jinwoo Sang, whatever. Sad that it's not Seo Taiji, right? Yeah, Ultramania, tudum, 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 tudum. And, well, the story goes like that. It's modern time, like in our reality, but there are these portals to, like, other dimensions where monsters are, and people hunt them for money or resources or glory, whatever. Jinwoo Sang is one of the hunters, and he basically earns money that way, but he's weak, and yeah, some stuff is going to happen and he's going to become stronger. That's basically how I could explain this story without spoiling it. And it's actually quite an interesting show, but I am not sure where all of this is going, because the world building, I can see where all of that leads. I guess we are going to need another season or two to fill those gaps out, because yeah, what is even happening here? We basically have this dude and he goes to dungeons and he fights monsters and that's it. But he also has some motivations behind it, some serious motivations, which I am not going to disclose. So basically I am making you want to go watch that stuff to find out why he needs to slay monsters, what is his goal, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I hope we are going to get 2 more seasons. The animation is nice, the music is okay. Yeah, that's it. It's basically nothing special, but it's at least interesting, so I didn't skip it. I'm waiting for more. Majo Toyaju, The Witch and the Beast. Now this is one of the highlights of this season for sure. Probably the 3rd or the 4th best anime I'm talking about. It's about this dude, Ashaf, who always carries a casket with him, and Gido, she's a creature with interesting past. That's all I'm going to say. They're basically like, I don't know, inquisitors or like monster hunters that work for this magical organization that is basically taking in the witches, because the witches in this universe are the most powerful creatures. They can do lots of stuff. They can work for the good of the people, but they can also fulfill their selfish needs or basically destroy the world and stuff like that. This is a shonen, but it has a lots of depths, like the characters, their motivations, what is the end goal, why all of this is happening, and every episode we basically almost have a different witch that they're trying to find. So basically monster of the week, like in Supernatural or Scooby-Doo, stuff like that. I want to know where the story is going to go, I want to know the end, so I guess we're going to need season 2 and 3 for that, because nothing is resolved by now. It's like the beginning of the story, this whole season, and I've truly enjoyed this show. Its title reminded me of Sherlock TV show, I don't know why, must be the vibe. Even the monster of the week episode structure works here, because the monster and the stories are quite interesting, so give this one a shot. I have no clue why no one talks about this show, no one cares. This is one of the better ones, like this needs a second season. If this is going to be cancelled, I will be like, what? So you are going to make new seasons of some shitty ecchi shows and, you know, shonens without any story and like blah blah blah. But this one needs to be continued. I hope that it will be. So go check that one out if you like shonen, fantasy, action, curses, witches, and cool main characters. Like, that's the most important part. Finally, the last anime I'm going to recommend to you, Shangri-La Frontier. Now this one, yeah, finally, we've got an anime about VR, yeah, another Sword Art Online clone, yeah! But I'm not going to lie to you, this one was actually way more interesting and fun than everything from Sword Art Online. Except Season 1, because Season 1 of Sao, or Seo, however you pronounce that, was better. But yeah, Shangri-La Frontier, great show. It's about this dude, Saneaku, who loves to play video games, but he only likes to play awful video games. You know, like Gotham Knights, Moite, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Diablo 4. What other games are garbage? Write down in the comments, because I can't seem to remember. Oh, Assassin's Creed 1, bleh, 5K2, what else was awful? So many awful games came out. So yeah, Saneaku likes to play garbage titles, and I think either his friends or the seller at the shop recommends him this game, Shangri-La Frontier, and he's like, I don't want to play that, I want to play Mortar 3 again, but the seller or whoever is like, nah, you should check out Shangri-La Frontier, man, this is the best VR title, like, it has no bugs, it's interesting, you should give it a shot. And Saneaku is like, okay man, dude, dog, let's move. I will take it, I will buy it. And he basically plays this video game, and he's doing some massive changes to the story because of his actions there, basically. It's a very fun show. I love the rabbit, Emule. His friends are wicked as well, Amane and Kei Uyomi. And also we have another character, this girl, Saga, and she's in love with Saneaku in real life, like she has a crush on him, but he doesn't seem to see that, acknowledge that, and she basically plays this game, like she learned all about Shangri-La Frontier to basically befriend him there, but she's this giant swordman there, or cleric, or inquisitor, whatever, and no one knows that she's a girl and everyone is scared of her. It's hilarious. So that's the show. I am very interested in where the story is going, because the world of Shangri-La Frontier is interesting, the main character is very fun, the secondary ones also, the animation fantastic, the music great. Yeah, I need more, I want more. Please give us more Shangri-La Frontier. Yeah, that was the last show I wanted to talk about. Go check it out if you like some cool, fun stuff. The comedy here, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it's very childish or cringy, but yeah, that's what animes are. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me down in the comments your favorite animes of this season. Did you enjoy anything? Did you maybe watch anything of this list that I showed you right now and recommended to you? Tell me about it. So go watch some animes right now, and I will see you in my other videos. Bye!